In 2 Timothy 3:16 it says, "All scripture is God-breathed and is useful for instruction, for conviction, for correction, and for training in righteousness." Verse 17 says, "So that the man of God may be complete, fully equipped for every good work." Today, the Lord was talking to me about the term that's used quite often, and that is that we've received a word in season. And people quite often say, "Oh, that was a great word, that was in season. I just needed to hear that." So that got me thinking about, what does the word season mean? Well, season has three main meanings. The first meaning for season, the most commonly used word for season, is a period of time. So it may be a period of sowing, it may be a period of reaping, it may be a period of nourishing, it may be a period of loss, it may be a period of gain. And sometimes when we hear a word, it speaks to the time period that we're going through. But the danger in saying that that was a word in season or that was a word out of season is that throughout our lives, we'll quite often be going through different seasons in different aspects of our lives. In certain sections of our lives, we may be receiving a lot. Other sections of our lives, we may be giving a lot. So we may be sowing, we may be reaping. Other aspects of our lives, we may be just building on what's already there. So our life isn't going through one season at the same time. We could be going through several seasons in our life simultaneously. So it's important that we don't cherry pick or just choose the words we want to hear because they make us feel good or they bring comfort to us or bring understanding about a certain part of our life, which makes us feel better at the time. Because sometimes, though we may be in a time of lack, we need to hear words about sowing, because we know the way we get out of lack is to sow. We might feel like we have nothing to sow, but the Lord sows those words into our lives. So when the seasons change, those words can be activated. So it's very important that we don't shelve words into words being in season or out of season. It's important we realize that if the Lord brings a word to us, then there's a purpose for the word. For the Lord doesn't exist in time, but everything he does is on purpose. Another meaning for the word season is like when we're cooking and we add salt and we add pepper, something to improve the taste or to change the characteristics of what we're preparing. And that's what the word can do. And that's what the word should be doing in our lives. It should be seasoning our lives. It should be making our lives more desirable to those who are seeking the Lord. So sometimes, even though the word can seem hard or harsh, and may be a word of correction or reproof, the purpose of the word is to change our characteristics so that we can be more like him. So what he is doing is he is seasoning our life in him so that we can be more like him and be more desirable and more authentic to what the word actually says. And the third meaning of season is like what they do to timber. They season the timber. And the reason they season the timber is because they want to prepare it for use. You might have also heard the term that he's a seasoned professional. This is not his first time. He's been through this before. And that's what the word can do. That as we receive the word, not just once, but continually receive. It may be the same word, and we may receive it over and over and over. For isn't that how faith comes? Faith comes from hearing the word over and over and over, not just once, but by hearing it, by working it, by hearing it, by working it, by hearing it, by working it. That's how our faith grows. So we become seasoned. The word seasons us so that we are prepared for service. So I want you to consider these three meanings. Season being a period of time, and remember that just because one part of your life, or the predominant part of your life, is going through a certain season, it doesn't mean that there isn't other aspects of your life that aren't going through different seasons, aren't going through different experiences in Him. And even in the time of lack, we should always be looking to sow. Your sowing does not necessarily mean to be your finances. Your sowing can be your time. Your sowing can be your prayer. Your sowing can be your encouragement. There is no excuse to stop sowing. So we're always in a season of sowing because we're always looking ahead. We're always working on what is to come. He says, put your hand to your plough and do not look back. So it's important that we realize that sowing is so important in our lives. So any word that you receive that the Lord brings you, that brings you to a place where you can sow more efficiently, can sow more productively, that is a word in season, because you will always be sowing. And if we're sowing, we should be expecting to be receiving. So any word about how to receive more of the word should also be a word in season. And at the same time, we should be encouraging those around us and nurturing what He's already sown in us and nurturing what He's sown in others. So any word that builds on how to build the word of faith in our lives and build the word of faith in our brothers and sisters' lives is also a word in season. And through all that process, at the same time, the Lord is preparing us so that we can be better used to Him. So I hope this helped you, and I hope this brought a bit of clarity to what it means to have a word in season. And I hope this expanded your understanding of what season means. It's not just a period of time. It's also it's a way of conditioning us so that we can be more like Him. And what others desire to see, they will see in us. So bless you heaps. Until next time, bye.